Hello, you're welcome to Intentional Parenting with Shalake Tayo. And today on Intentional Parenting, I will be talking about how to teach your child accountability. Accountability. Our children need to learn how to be accountable, because when we teach our children accountability from home, then we can be rest assured that they'll be able to be responsible. They'll be responsible for whatever acts that they put in place out there. So as parents, you need to learn how to teach your children accountability. All right, one of the ways to teach your child accountability is to make sure that they follow the rules and regulation that is put in place in the home. As a parent, there are rules that you have put in place in the house to guide how they behave, to guide what they do. Probably some are to do the dishes. You insist that who is to do the dishes is just gonna do it, except for cases where you have issues of health. Probably the child is not feeling too well at that time, and then the child can be excused, and that is quite understandable. Or any other reason that you think can make the child break the rule. Not really break the rule, but not to do what the child has been structured to do or has been planned to do in the rules that has been put in place at home. And when a child does not do it without any reason, probably because what you have put in place is not convenient for him or her to do. You know, we have children with different characters, with different habits, with different likes and dislikes. Some you tell them it's your turn to do dishes, and they tell you they just don't like doing the dishes. They prefer to lay the bed, clean up the room, mop the house. But then when it comes to plates, I think that used to be my problem while I was growing up. I didn't like doing dishes for anything. It was always an issue for me cleaning my plates, let alone packing up every other person's plate for me to do. But I overgrew it with time. And so if you have your children in that queue, in that line of not wanting to do one chore or the other because they just do not like it, you've got to teach them accountability so that they can learn how to do it, because they need to be an all-round total child. That's why you've got to be intentional with your child. I don't want to raise a boy who is growing up to be a man and then he can't do some normal things that he should do, all in the name and context of he's a male child. And I don't want to also raise a female child who can do some things that she's supposed to do, all because she thinks she's a female child. So if you want to raise a total child, you have to be intentional about it. Set rules. Let them go through the rules. Let them know what to do per time. Let them engage in the rules and regulations. Let them do it. And when they don't comply, make them have make them get corrected. Put corrective measures in place. Okay, when you don't lay your bed, when you wake up in the morning, these and these are what is going to happen. When you have snacks in the house, while my children were growing up, I was having such issue. For example, I could buy drink, juices and snacks in cartons and all of that. And then we said the plan is, while I was buying it, the plan is that it's for school. So they should take it to school as their school snack. And then during the day, you discover that they're asking you, "Mommy, can I have? Mommy, may I have? Mommy, please, can I?" And then when you're saying, "Oh, mommy," some would even come around petting you, begging you, kissing you and telling you, "Please, let me have it. Please, let me have it." The thing is this: when you set rules and let them know that it's for school and just for school alone, fine. It's for school and it's just for school alone, fine. But then when they go against the rule, one of the things you can make them to be accountable for it is to make sure that you insist on, once you take this extra one today, then the one you're supposed to take to school tomorrow won't be available. Why? Because you have chosen to eat your cake before the day you're supposed to have it, and you can't actually eat your cake and have it. So that goes for it. Let's teach our children accountability. I just mentioned that we set rules on we set rules and regulations in the house. Another way that you can teach your child accountability is to help your child figure out how to follow the rules. Sometimes as parents, because you set the rules and then you haven't really explained and helped them figure out how to go through the rules, how to follow the rules and regulation. You know, oftentimes parents, we're fond of telling them what they did wrong, and then we forget to tell them how they should do it right. So if you're going to be intentional parents, you have to go through all the process, not just setting the rules alone. You set the rules, fine, thumbs up to you. But after setting the rules, make sure that you help them go through the process of following the rules. For example, a child knows he's supposed to clean up his room during the in the morning, after getting up in the morning, after waking up into a brand new day, and then the child wakes up and goes about doing several other things. What do you think you should do? Ask the child, have you laid your bed? Have you swept your room? Follow up. That's the intentionality. That's where the intentionality comes in. If you give an instruction, do this. Even the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he grows up, he won't depart from it. It means training, not teach. You can as well come out and teach a child how he should do a thing or what he should do. But if you don't train properly, if you don't follow through, that's training. Following through every day, consistently. Is he doing it? You're watching. Is he not doing it? Because if you leave children to it, I bet you they won't do anything. While we were growing up, we hardly did anything until we were pursued every time and every day to get things done. All right. Okay, you can also use consequences. Let them face the consequences of not doing what they are supposed to do. In that way, you will be able to make them accountable. Once they know that if I don't get this done, this is what will happen, this is what I'll be doing. And oftentimes children don't like going through punishments, the consequences and all that. They would rather just do it and save their head. You know what I'm talking about. So get them to face the consequences. All right, get them to face the consequences. Okay. And then another way you can make them to be accountable is you, as an intentional parent, you've got to be consistent. Be consistent with the consequences you put in place. Be consistent with the rules and regulation. If you have to change, involve the children. Let them know. You know what I've discovered? I have discovered that when you involve your children in making plans, in making things, how you want things to go in the house, when they are part of the decision making, there's this feeling of, my idea is there, so it needs to work. You just see that it's working out. When my children come back home during holiday, I sit them down and we talk. This is what should happen. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And then you just see them doing it. Before you know it, you don't have much hassle. So don't forget that you have to remain intentional to train your children intentionally. This is Shola Akintayo saying to you, be intentional in your parenting. Until I come your way next time, God bless you. Stay intentional. Bye.